This is a Fulcrum Technologies screencast.
Hello there, I'm Rex Proctor. Thank you for joining me in this screencast. In this screencast, we're going to take a look at the timer clip and timer clip overlay. The timer clip allows you to create an alternate time in the timeline based on clips. The timer clip overlay will display that time. So let's create our workspace here. I'm going to create a new vault called timer. I'm going to split my interface up like so, drag in a movie, link a timeline, close off these, and remove all of my overlays. We're going to use a simple football example. It's a very basic clock. The first half starts at 0 and counts up. The second half starts at 45 and counts up. Let's create a markup and drag in a button. And we're going to set this button up as a timer clip type button. You'll notice some options will appear. We have cumulative, countdown, and timer offset. Now by default, the timer clip counts up from the timer offset. So from this example, it would start at 0 and go until the end of the clip. You can have that count down by selecting the countdown option, and that will count down from the timer offset. In this example, it would start from 0 and go into the negative range. You can also select cumulative, and cumulative will accumulate time across multiple clips. Why you would use this, for example, is in basketball, the clock, the game clock, starts and stops continually through the quarter or half. So if you're wanting to start those timer clips when the official blows the whistle, you can do that, and you can bridge the gaps between the actual game clock time and real time. In this example, though, we're going to keep it very simple. Football is a great clock system, having starting at 0 and starting at 45. So we're going to create this first button, and it's going to be called match time, and the timer offset will be 0. So when I start, it will just start at 0 and count up. And then I'm going to copy and paste this button, and I'm going to create another one with the same name. However, the timer offset is going to be 45, and that's going to be for my second half. You don't have to do it this way. The reason I like doing it with the same name is they're going to land in the same row, and they'll just be differentiated with the color. But you could have first half, second half, for example. Okay, so let's go in here and find our first half. And let's jump into mark mode, zoom that in a bit, and figure out when he rolls it. Okay, bang. First half's going to start there. We'll drag this along, zoom that back out. Okay, now I'm going to end that clip. Now note that timer clips do not listen to the tab key, so they will not be pushed up when you press tab. They have to either be manually clicked on, or you can trigger them to go up and down based on actions. All right, let's go in and get to our second half here. Right there, and we'll start our second half. Notice it's going into the same row, that's good. And we'll just whip this all the way along to the end of the match. And that's it. Okay, now we've set up our match time timer clips. You'll notice that the dot here is red. That indicates it's a default type with no option selected. If the countdown were selected, you'd have a red and white, and if the countdown and cumulative were selected, you're going to have a red, white, and green. So that just indicates what type of timer clip button is in the timeline. Now let's add our timer clip overlay. So let's go show timer clip overlay. And look at that. You'll notice that if we go in here and add our movie time, you'll see that our movie time here is at 10 minutes, and our timer clip time starts at 0 right at the kickoff. So if I double click on that, bang, there's the kickoff, and there's our timer clip. Now if we move to the second half, you'll see that the second half starts at 45, right when the kick of the ball. So now you have match time inside of your movie. So let's just create some clips in here. So if I'm double clicking and playing from here, you'll see that that match time is being updated across the clips there.